Alright, what's going on, VurbMotogamers? This is Kellen Brauer, aka Osari52 here with a MXGP, the video game preview slash review. The game just came out last Friday, and I actually sat down over the weekend with the former level designer at Rainbow Studios and current director of marketing at Race Tech Suspension, Chris Riesenberg, who again joins me. And for the update on that, I actually kind of made a mistake with my audio recording, so we're doing this again. So thank you again, Chris, for joining us.
Absolutely, looking forward to it.
And he and I are here to sort of break down this new game for you guys, get an idea of what's going on. As you can see, we're about to load into Ernée. There's 14 tracks in this game, and you could just see them all right there. And we're looking at my options screen where you can adjust your riding assists and well, not adjust them because Chris already set a standard, but you can change your rider. They have a bunch of official riders. You can scroll through from the MXGP World Championship. There's also a list of MX2 riders you can choose. Then you also have your custom rider that you can select from the various teams in the game. And so yeah, Chris and I are going to do a couple races here and walk you guys through this game. New exciting time for MX Game community with this game coming out. And what are your thoughts so far, Chris, as we get ready to play Ernée?
I'm pretty excited about it. It's been a long time coming, especially on the console side, waiting for a new title, especially one of this quality. I think it's definitely left a really good impression on me. The game is on 360, PS3, and as well as we're actually playing it here on the PC. And yeah, especially for the console guys, I know that they've been waiting and waiting and waiting for a new Moto game, and we finally have something.
Absolutely, and along the console side, from what I understand, I'm not so sure if this is an American released game on the console side yet. I mean, I read a few places that doesn't sound like it is yet, but it definitely is on the PC. Chris and I are both playing on the PC right now, in online, which has had a few bugs since it's been released, but we both purchased it on Steam. Right now or I'm not sure actually, is it still 15% off at a price of $33.99, Chris, do you know?
I think it was supposed to be 15% off for the first week, I believe, is what I read. So through Friday, I think it'll still be $33.99 here in the U.S.
Okay, so $33 in the U.S. Until Friday is the update that we have on that. And
also, from what I've been reading, is the Xbox 360 version is region locked. So getting that one from the US will be a little bit of a challenge, but the PS3 version, I believe, is that people have been having success getting that without it being region locked. Now, obviously, do your research and check on your own because I haven't tried it, but that's what I've been reading and hearing.
All right, cool to know. I did not actually know that, but
worldwide on the PC. So if you have a PC, it's up and ready on Steam, and there's also a demo there too, so you can check it out. Maybe you're wondering if your PC specs are up to par to run the game and whatnot too. You can check it out there.
Sweet. Okay, so got a little update of info that I was not aware of, so good to know. As you can see, Chris and I here playing the French track Ernée, and I'm actually going to wait for Chris because I don't want to blow his doors off, and you guys can actually see some battling. Chris is playing as David Philipparts, the 2008 MX1 World Champion, and
it's one of the more tighter, difficult tracks. And I've only spent probably about 8 or so races into the game, and Kellen's definitely got me covered on speed. Plus, I haven't been riding much on the MX1 bike. I've been riding the 250F, going through the career mode and stuff. So I'm looping out, coming out of the corners, and all kinds of crazy fun stuff right now.
So you can see online play. It's actually pretty cool. I mean, you can really bang bars with people. You know, if Chris and I can make some contact and kind of bounce off of each other. It's not super like fidgety, I would say. Like you can actually race and have a good battle with someone. It has a few quirks, but most part online racing pretty fun. Actual gameplay. Well, go ahead and make your point, Chris.
I was just gonna say, also on the line of collisions, there is the option for online to turn collisions off, which for really close, tight racing and less, you know, a different experience, but more like hot lapping and stuff with your friends. That's a pretty cool addition too, is to be able to just turn collisions off. You don't have to worry about laggy connections or anything like that. You know, we play with a lot of guys from around the world and stuff that we've played other games with and such, and sometimes the connection's not wonderful, so that's a cool option as well.
Yeah, and so kind of breaking it off of that point of, you know, collision and gameplay and all that. I mean, what do you make so far, Chris, of the actual playing of the game and the bike physics, the rider physics? Like, how well did they do you reckon on this game with physics?
I would really say after probably the second race, already picking it up, I really started to enjoy it pretty much right at that point. I was like, man, this is a lot of fun. The cornering is, I think, really, really well done. It's a great balance between a game that you can pick up and play and just get into easily, get around pretty fast, and then also a level of mastering it and controlling the bike. There's a really good, the back end feels like it actually will step out for you when you want it to. There you see me actually crash in a corner. So that's possible. I feel like the on-the-ground stuff is really good. The jumping's taking me a little bit longer to get used to, and I think they could have done a little bit better with it, but it's still not bad at all. But as a whole, on a console standpoint, I would say it's probably the best set of physics that we've seen thus far.
Yeah, I would actually agree with you that physics-wise, this is a really good game. I mean, a lot of people have kind of made some remarks that the rider movements look really cheesy, and you know, you have like these kind of preset looking whips where if you throw a whip, the bike just does a normal maneuver and corrects itself, like you can see right there. There's not a whole lot of correcting whips or anything like that, but like corner technique, you actually need some good corner technique in this game, and know how to make good apexes out of your corners. I feel like really it's not as bad as you probably think it looks just watching it in a video. Once you play it and get used to it, I think, you know, the average consumer will actually like this type of physics quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of time with Reflex and Live. I worked on both of those titles, and I have no problem saying that I think they did a better job as far as the way that this handles on the ground. I think that it's better when you factor in the fact that, especially outdoors, because there is no Supercross in the game, most of it's spent on the ground. I think that it's a good thing that they spent the time on it and really got that part right.
Absolutely. So you can see here, Chris and I just wrapping up an online race together, and you earn some experience points from doing that. You also earn experience points from playing this really well detailed career mode where you get to actually ride for the various teams that are in the game. Real World Championship teams, and you have like a manager, and it feels a lot like MTX Moto Tracks almost, if I could make a comparison, where you have them kind of seek you out, and then you get to choose between teams that offer you contracts, and it's really kind of a cool concept in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's really, really well done. I know, again, I read a lot of feedback and stuff while working on the MX versus ATV games, and it's that career mode that's really in depth. You get off, you know, you start out on one of the lower teams and then work your way through the GPs, and from the MX2 class into the MX1, you get different team offers the better you do, and that's really the level of detail that people wanted, as well as you can create. You can do custom one-off just Grand Prix races. You can do there's a bunch of different modes you can do. I think a single championship as well, in addition to the career, and that's all offline, and it's all replica riders, replica tracks, replica points, replica format as far as it goes to practice, time qualifying, Moto 1 and Moto 2, and it's a really customizable experience too as far as setting your laps and your AI and that. So I mean, I'm saying a lot about it because it's really, really in depth, and that's one thing that they pulled off really well, was replicating what it's like to go through a championship series.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, you kind of hit on the point, replica tracks, replica riders. I'm sure if you know, we're going to reach quite a bit of an American fan base uploading this video to VurbMotogamers, but for any of you American fans that aren't as knowledgeable about the GP series out there, you can see that you know, I selected Tommy Searle. Chris is still David Philipparts. This is based off of, you know, the World Motocross Championship, so you're going to see a lot of riders that maybe you haven't seen before, or you know about, but you don't really know much about the series. So, I mean, it's almost, in a way, I would kind of say it's a good learning experience. You get to see a different kind of a different group of riders, a different type of tracks that you're not accustomed to, and you know, I think it's built well enough that you get an idea of what MXGP is really about in comparison to American motocross and supercross.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's real sponsors, and like the bikes and riders look exactly like their counterparts in real life. Everything down to the logos on the jerseys and the logos on the bikes, the numbers they run, the style of numbers even on the back of their jerseys, all that stuff is accurate, as well as the tracks they've done a really good job of replicating the tracks. Not only did they look awesome, but they're really close replicas.
Yeah, as you can see, we're both playing right now. A track that, you know, if you're an American motocross fan, you might be a little bit familiar with. This is Teufelstal in Germany, where last year the Motocross des Nations took place, and America obviously came up just a bit short of the Belgians, but you may have seen this track on TV or something along those lines, so you can make some connections in this game. You know, someone like Tommy Searle or a Gautier Paulin, they've come and raced in the States before, and there's plenty to be learned about this game and the series, I think, just from playing this game.
Yeah, absolutely, and they did a really good job, not just of replicating the track surface itself and the layout, but just their environments are really well done. It feels like you're at an actual professional motocross event. It looks like a real track. It's not out in the middle of a desert by an Egyptian pyramid or or some theme park or a tropical rainforest. It's actually a motocross track, and you see the crowd around, the flags flying, the banners. And even on some of the tracks, I think grandstand structures and stuff are all replicated to feel accurate to the true life counterpart. Ooh, got a little lost there.
Alright, so we've touched on a few of the main points. Like, what else is there to talk about? Chris got physics, tracks, riders, teams. I mean, this game has so much to offer.
Yeah, it feels like we're just scratching the surface on things. I know one of the things that I was super excited about right away when I got into it was there's a really cool replay system with screenshot mode built into it. Really, really well done as far as that's concerned. For all you guys that are, especially on the PC side or console side, that like to share your experience with taking photos after the race and recording BMG videos ideally. That's all to see. Yeah, that side of stuff. There's a really cool studio replay feature. The bikes and riders look really good. It's not corny, like cheap replay where the guy's not really where you were in the race or dumbed down quality. It's actually really, really high quality stuff, which is awesome feature. I got really excited about that and played around with it. One of the first things I did with the game. So that was really cool.
Yeah, definitely. And touching on that point, with this video, being uploaded to VMG, I definitely want to see more of this game on the Gamers channel itself. Gamers channel isn't dead. It's not very strong right now because there's so much sim-related content that's being pushed towards it that I've kind of cut back on it. But even so, MXGP, I wanted to bring some new life back to the Gamers channel, and definitely, if you guys have some videos that you want to submit and see something up on the VurbMotogamers channel, be happy to take in anything that you guys got. Maybe some cool edits, some commentary, fast laps, what have you. Want to see more of this game for sure. It looks really awesome. Can't wait to see what kind of creativity people come up with in terms of video editing for this game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really cool timing for this release because MX vs. ATV is coming out here shortly. But that's a Supercross only title. This one being Motocross only. It's like you can kind of get your fix of both styles of racing coming up here this summer with two different titles. So that is pretty cool. And hopefully both titles will really push each other to raise the bar for what they're bringing to the table.
Right.
And then I guess it wouldn't be right, I guess, to talk about all the things that are awesome about the game, with maybe talking about some of the things that maybe we didn't care for. One of the things right on the top of my list right now as I'm listening to my bike go around the track is the audio is less than fantastic.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the things that stands out to me the most as a downfall.
Yeah.
but I can quickly look past it as we're having a pretty sick battle right now. And this track is sick. This is actually the first time riding this track.
Oh, where are you going?
Like I said, it's my first time.
It jumps into the barriers.
I do remember this jump though from Tomac.
Yeah, over the Tomac hill.
Oh, you left the door open.
Oh!
Oh yeah. So I'm having a blast right now playing this title. I have been the last couple of days. Really good pickup and playability, but yet the depth is definitely good, and I recommend everyone check it out. Support your MX games if you want to see more MX games coming out. I mean, that's the name of the game. If they sell copies, then they're going to be able to keep making them, and they're just going to keep improving. I mean, this is a huge improvement over their last title, I feel.
Yeah, I was actually just going to say that. I mean, in terms of development, I played a little bit of Mud. I didn't get into it very much, but Mud was okay, but it was very arcadish, and they used replica track names, but the tracks themselves, I mean, weren't very replicated. They were kind of tweaked to be more arcadish, and I feel more you know, appetizing to your average game player. But this is like, you know, the real deal. I think they really made a huge step in the right direction, and I think it's also going to create a new, you know, maybe even a new fan base for the actual MXGP series. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Something else that we didn't touch on was the chance to do an online championship is also there as well. So you don't just have to play single races online, you can do a championship. That's a pretty neat addition as well. I think they really thought of everything that they could think of making this thing realistic and a complete experience from that standpoint. Visually, everything from visually to the game modes to even, like I said, the physics are pretty good. I can't complain too much about them, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Whoops. Almost left the lobby by accident trying to pick a different rider.
Oh, also, we mentioned a little bit about the real riders and real sponsors. This does have all the OEMs in it. I'm actually lining up as Tano Liakuna TM this race. That TM, KTM, Suzuki, Honda, Kawasaki, Yamaha, they're all in here. And all their real sponsors, so...
Yeah, it's
from Moto Gamers. I know it's been a frustration for years trying to get all the OEMs in a game, and they're all here. Like I said, they did so many things awesome.
absolutely. And yeah, I mean, I would agree right there with you. I probably could say I'm right there with those gamers as one of the frustrated gamers that, you know, you always wanted OEMs and you never got them. And definitely, there's a lot in here. Obviously, not all OEMs. There's going to be those ones that are like, well, where's the Husqvarna or where's the Gas? But, you know, they got all the ones that the actual GP riders in the 2013 GP season were riding on. So, but there's definitely, I agree with you. There's, you know, it's awesome to have OEM bikes in here for sure.
For sure. And I guess it's probably, unless you got anything else to add, probably time to rate the game.
Time to rate the game. Okay. Yeah, so... I'll go first this time because last time you went first when we did our first audio, and I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 simply because of its fun value. If I could pick anything, I've had a lot of fun this past couple days playing it, and I feel like it's one of those games that if they can get some online issues sorted, at least on the PC side. I haven't played it on a console, so I don't know how bad it is on a console, but online I think will be a really cool thing to have going down the road for this game, and establish kind of online tournaments and championships and stuff like that. Get together with your friends and just battle in this game. A lot of fun for me, and I think it'll be a lot of fun for you, so I would definitely recommend picking it up.
For me, I'm not quite at the 8 out of 10 level that you are. Mainly because there are some things that I feel could definitely be better. I mean, I'm not going to say that the jumping's fantastic in the game, because I don't believe that it is. I'm getting used to it more and more, and so it's not as bad now that I'm kind of adapting to it. The audio and such knocks it down some points, but everything else that we talked about, I mean, we talked for probably 15-20 minutes about how awesome a lot of this stuff is. So I'm actually at a 7 out of 10 for the game, and I would say it's the best non-simulator motocross game, and probably the most complete offering out there right now. especially for someone not taking the time to get into a simulator and all the custom content and stuff that's offered. As far as pick up and play and great fun racing ability, track design, the on-ground physics that I cannot talk enough about how fun that is for me. Dual stick controls, like they ground deformation. The tracks actually get rough and ruddy and cause me to crash. I think all that's really where the 7 out of 10 comes from. I think that if they go in the direction that they went from mud, we'll be looking at a 9 out of 10 title next time around.
Yeah, definitely. And just to say, I think I might be a little bit more biased on my 8 to 10 scale, just because I'm normally picked on as quite the GP rat, so I like my GP games probably just as much as I like the real GP series.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, and although it's a 7 out of 10, it's an absolute must-buy if you ask me. I mean, that's without a question. If you like dirt bikes, you like video games, you should already be owning this. And if you don't already, get on Steam or find a way to get it on PS3 or Xbox 360 or whatever your gaming system of choice is. Make it happen, because you won't regret it. Give it a couple races to get used to it. There's full-on, we're running pro physics modes here. There's manual transmission. I mean, like I said, I could go on forever about all the awesome positive features of the game that we didn't even get a chance to touch on.
Absolutely, this is a pretty good title, I must say. Wow, come on, Chris! I give you a chance to pass me, and then okay, go ahead. But this is a pretty awesome title. I mean, I enjoy playing the heck out of it so far, and sure I will enjoy to play it for a long time. For me, it was a nice break from MX Simulator, just because I feel like I play that almost every day of the week to keep up with some of the fast guys in that game anymore, and it gets pretty burnt out for me. So it was a nice change of pace, I must say.
Yeah, I think the ability to race a little bit closer in this game is also what's really fun. You crash, but you don't crash a ton. You know, you can bang bars, you can battle. Guys that aren't necessarily as good can still be close.
Right.
It's not this huge gap of separation, which is definitely welcome. I think you're at like level 78 online or something. I'm still at like 13, and we're still able to at least battle for a few corners before you get away and make things slow again.
Oh, come on, you're not that bad. It's the same with Sim, Chris. You know, more playing time the faster you get.
Yeah, absolutely. And my Steam name's just Checkerz448, Checkerz with a Z. If you guys see me around and want to play, definitely hit me up. I'm more than happy to do a few races and enjoy this game together.
Yeah, absolutely. And my Steam name is actually VurbKellen. So if you want to add me on Steam, and then in this game, if you see me around, I go by the name Osari52, which you may remember from me announcing on the VMG intro video a while back, or if you see me on the MX Simulator forums or whatever. But looks like we're about to wrap this race up as it's coming down to the line between me and Chris. Who's going to get it? He cuts to the inside. Oh! .067.
Dang, I would have got some huge TM contingency if I would have been able to capture a victory.
Alright, so that would be myself and Chris Riesenberg's preview/review of the MXGP video game. And as we both said, recommend for you guys to head out there and get it. Chris saying it's a must-buy, and I would agree with him there. Definitely a very fun game for any of you MX gamers. So be sure to write your comments about this video in the description below, and read anything that I have to write in the description about it, as I'm sure I'll include some more information. But for now, Chris and I are going to get back to battling. You guys have a fun time picking up this game, hopefully, and thanks for watching. We'll see you guys around.
For daily motocross pro and am coverage, be sure to log on to vurbmoto.com, and if you like us, prove it.